Hello everyone, we will speak of the present continuous in the affirmative, negative, and interrogative way. Surely you have seen many verbs in English ending in ing. What does this mean? The verbs that end with the gerund ing, which in Spanish can be translated into the gerunds and endo, are associated with the present continuous. So when is the present continuous used? It is used to direct actions that are happening at this time, that is, at the moment in which it is being talked. The present continuous is the here and now. Many times it is confused with the simple present. However, there are differences between the simple and continuous present. The present continuous has 5 main uses, which are: first, describe action that occur at the exact moment you speak or write. Second, we also use to talk about general, personal, or social situations that occur to the there, anticipate events, appointments, or action that will occur in the future. The speaker must be sure that they will happen. Fourth, mention temporary events. Fifth, describe action that occur constantly. In these cases, prayer is reinforced with the adverbs as always, forever, constantly, among others. In order to understand the ways in which the verb will change, we must know the rules of conjugation. As you can see, the dominant ending in this verb tense is ing. However, it is important to know the following rules for the formation of gerunds in some verbs. Rule number 1. All verbs end in ing. Rule number 2. When a verb has only one syllable or just accent falls in the last syllables and end in the consonant, the letter must be duplicated and the end ing added. Rule number 3. If the verb ends in e mute, this letter is removed and the ending ing is placed. Rule number 4. Verbs ending in double e retain ending and add to the end ing. Rule number 5. Verbs ending in a, e, put in place a y plus ing. Now that we know the rules of conjugation, we must know that there are exceptions to this conjugation. While the nature of some verbs prevents their conjugation in present continuous in English, so they do not usually have ending ing. These verbs are known as stative verbs. What do stative verbs indicate? Emotional or mental state, sensation, communication, and others.
Now that we know the rules of conjugation, we can talk about how to form the present continuous, that is, its structure. Let's start with the affirmative form. As we see, the present affirmative continuum is formed from the subject plus the verb to be, which can be am, is, or are, plus the verb with the ending ing, plus the complement. As we can see, here the auxiliary verb does not receive any transformation since the one not that changes is the main verb. It's very easy. To understand it better, let's see some example. Example 1. The electron is traveling gated to a region of space that is increasingly distant from the nucleus. Here the verb is to travel and has been modified with the ending ing. Example 2. The blades are rotating at a high speed. Do you know what the verb is here? Right, the verb is rotate and follows rule number 3 in its conjugation. Example 3. The electrons are spinning around the nucleus of the atom, where the protons and neutrons meet. In this example, the verb is spin and follows the conjugation rule number 2 because the last letter is duplicate. Remember this rule? Example 4. The laboratory is analyzing the components of the chemical. Here the verb is analyze. Do you know what conjugation rule was applied for this verb? You got it right? Rule number 3 is something similar to what happened in the second example. Now it is your turn. Check if you have understood the affirmative form of the present continuous. Answering the following exercise, you must solve the sentences that are present and transform the verb considering the rules that we mentioned at the beginning of this video. Pause the video and respond in a notebook or sheet that you have at hand. When you finish, resume the video and compare your answer with those that we will show on the slide. Success. How did it go? If you did not succeed in the exercise, do not worry. Review again the role of conjugation and the affirmative form. It is important that you have it clear so that it is easier for you to understand the other two ways.
Now it's time to know another form of the present continuous, which is its negative form. As we can see, the formula we use is subject plus verb to be, which can be am, is, or are, plus the negative auxiliary not, plus the verb with the ending ing, plus the complement. Unlike the affirmative form in this one, we must add the negative auxiliary not. Don't forget, to understand it better, let's see some examples. Example 1. In actual methane molecule, the hydrogen atoms are not rotating out at 90 degrees. As you can see in the example, we have added the negative auxiliary not. Example 2. It is not missing the oxygen atom. In the example, we also have the negative auxiliary not. It is easy to recognize it because we have it marked with yellow and it is easy to remember. Not. Example 3. To emphasize that it is still unreliable and it is not being worked on. Here we still have the word not, but we also have a stative verb. Do you remember them? Right, it's the verb to be. Example 4. The blades are not rotating at a high speed. In this example, we have the verb rotate that follows the conjugation rule number 3 and the word not for this sentence to be negative. Now it's your turn. Check if you have understood the negative form of the present continuous answer the following exercise. You must order the sentences that are presented and transform the verb considering the rules that we mentioned at the beginning of this video and the structure corresponding to the negative form. Remember, not. Pause the video and respond in a notebook or sheet that you have at hand. When you finish, resume the video and compare your answers with those that we will show on the slide. Success! How did it go? If you didn't succeed in the exercise, don't worry. Review again the rules of conjugation and the negative form. It is important that you have it clear so that it is easier for you to understand the following way.
It is time to know the interrogative form of the present continuous. When asking question, we use the following structure. We start with the verb to be, that can be am, is, or are, plus the subject, plus the verb with ending ing, considering the conjugation rules, plus the complement, plus the question mark. That indicates that it's a question. As we can see here, the auxiliary verb doesn't receive any transformation, since the one that changes is the main verb, and unlike the affirmative form and the negative form structure, in which the sentence is present is modified. In addition, we must add the question mark. To understand it better, let's see some examples. Example 1. Are the elements losing their chemical properties in the above mixture? As you can see in this example, the structure have changed a bit from the affirmative and negative form we saw earlier, but the verb still complies with the conjugation rule. The verb lost follows the conjugation rule number 3. Example 2. Are electrons traveling around the nucleus? Here the verb travel is the one that has the ending ing. As you can see, the verb to be is now at the beginning of the sentence, unlike the previous form. In addition, we have the question mark indicating that is an interrogative sentence. Do the same with the following examples. Now is your turn. Check if you have understood the interrogative form of the present continuous. Answering the following exercise, you must order the sentences that are present and transform the verb considering the rules that we mentioned at the beginning of this video and the structure corresponding to the interrogative form. Remember that in this way the structure is changed and the question mark must be added. Pause the video and respond in a notebook or sheet that you have at hand. When you finish, resume the video and compare your answers with those that we will show on the slide. Success. Who did it go? If you didn't succeed in the exercise, don't worry. Review again the rules of conjugation and the interrogative form. It is important that you have it clear. Remember, you can watch and pause the video as many times as necessary.
for you to understand the present continuous. For the elaboration of this video, we use the following resources. This presentation was given by the team made up. Thanks a lot.